understand something. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie! That felt good! Yowie wowie. Let me in.
We are back for another episode of Abby's Window, and I'm not on camera today. I'm at work. My lighting sucks, and I will probably be bombarded in a second because we have a conference going on. So all of that. So thank you guys for understanding that. Jodie,
Yeah.
you're in some new digs. How are you?
It's coming along slowly, but I'm sitting here in my nice new desk and my new chair. So, yeah.
Well, Jodie, listen, I know people don't want to. They're not here for me today. Um, People are already asking who's the mystery guest. Um, so I'm going to shout out some folks, and then we're going to bring our mystery guest on. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So we've got Odin's Child, Wes Herron, Jen Carter, Tony. Let's see who else here. Big Dan, Jason Peace, EJ Movement, Erase Your Mind, Little T, Trex, Alexa Bliss Gamer 0809, Joe, what's up, Joe? Callan Corner, Dalton Riley, Austin Huey, Sean Suslowitz, Diana, GTX Maddie, Annette. Let's see here. B Tazzy, Big Dan, Jason Peace. Let's see who else we got here. I think I already said Wes Herron. Alicia. Got a good crowd in here.
That means I teased it well.
You did it very well. Dalton Riley. Michael saying who is the mystery guest. So you're going to find out. Mr. I'm not going to butcher that. Okay. So without further ado, and if I were at home, I'd do my drum roll sound effect, but I don't have that right now. So we're just going to have to do this. One, the only, Mr. Scott Dorsey, Dorsey Art. What's up, Scott? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well. So, listen, I'm going to ask you one question.
Okay.
And then I know Jodie has a lot of questions. And there might be something else special that happens tonight. So my question is, when did you become a fan of wrestling, and how did you get into enjoying wrestling?
When I was younger, just watching I guess it would be my dad would watch it, and then I would, of course, being young, I watched it too. Ultimate Warrior, all that stuff was my favorite. British Bulldog back in the day were my favorites, and then then I was a teenager when Stone Cold happened, so that was one of the biggest things ever, and it was great to see all that stuff. So I've just been a fan my whole life, just for as long as I can remember, really.
That's awesome. So obviously, part of my story, Bray was actually the one that got me into wrestling. The first match I ever watched was the Ultimate Deletion match between him and Matt Hardy. So pretty new to wrestling. So how did you get into your art and become a fan of Bray specifically?
Let's see. sort of two questions. So I went, so I've been drawing and stuff my whole life through high school and stuff like that. I never went to school for it. Out of high school, I went to wrestling school for 2 years. It shut down. I had to get a real job. So while I had that job, I started painting and wanted to get back into actual painting and drawing again. And around 2009, I did a picture of Ravens running back Ray Rice, his rookie season. He liked it. I saw the response from it, so it just kind of built off of that. So as I was doing NFL players and stuff like that, I was getting back into wrestling because once when I had my job, I was waking up at 3:00 in the morning, going to work and stuff like that. So I didn't have time to watch Raw. So I missed a good chunk of wrestling. So I started getting back into it when the WWE Network came around because I was able to watch stuff on my phone. And then as I would wake up for work, the pay-per-view would be ending. And then I could watch it while I was going to work in the morning. So I was able to pick back up on it. And then the Bray Wyatt, just when they were battling the Shield and just come out, the cryptic, type of it was just something different, It's just something different that wrestling needed, and the way he talked, it just captivated me. So, and I just became a fan since then.
You've been doing a lot of work with NFL since then and wrestling. What are you up to now?
Right now I'm working with AEW. We do limited edition prints. We drop certain ones. We try to do it every month, but right now we just dropped the Sting the beginning of October, and then we still have 2 more to be released. And then just still doing NFL stuff. Like I just had the Raiders stuff last year, 2 paintings in their stadium, but now one of them's going to get ripped out of the stadium. So
that sucks because that's a really good picture.
Yeah, tell me about it. They were supposed to be made they were going to be making prints of it and everything and selling the prints of it and doing all that. Well, all that's been deleted. So
that's no fun.
I mean, it is what it is. So
people are definitely noticing that lovely picture behind you.
Well, I was wondering if I should have that behind me or not, but I'm just trying to get things set up. I have the other ones, still rolled up that I ordered for myself because I don't want to ask for free stuff, but I buy every print that they made so far because why not? So
that's
we actually got that one. We actually got that one signed by Darby when we were up at FanFest.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to make that Brody Lee art? Did they ask you to do that one specifically? The Brody Lee that you debuted?
Yeah. So we the story there was like a lineup of paintings to do, and I mentioned Brody before, and they said no. AEW is very protective over Brody. I don't want to let nothing out either, so I want to be careful what I say. But they're very protective over the image and everything of Brody. So I suggested it before. I forget for what, and they were like, "No, let's not do that." And then they had FanFest up in Chicago for All Out, and they contacted me to see if I wanted to paint live up there. They wanted to do Brody, so I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And it just kind of worked out from there. They picked the picture that they wanted to use. Like I said, they're very protective over Brody and everything they do with him. So, so we did the painting up there. I painted it live, and then we unveiled it with the Dark Order and stuff like that. Like we did the Malachi the day before because it was a 2-day event. So
they were both very beautiful pieces of art.
Yeah, the Brody one was very touching. We were up on stage with the Dark Order and all that, and then later on, I had touched up a little bit of it while I was there, and then as the day was ending and wrestlers were leaving, Dark Order stopped by again to see it. Ty Conti stopped past and took a picture with it and stuff like that. So, and
then Bray commented on Twitter, and your Twitter exploded.
Oh, tell me about it with all kinds of stuff. And I feel so bad too because he comments, and I'm like, well, AEW's. I can't really help you, but he knows where to
Right.
get one if he wants one. So, so hopefully, I don't know when they will release the prints of it, but they will eventually.
That's good. That'll definitely be one I'll have to get to. So everybody knows I have several of your pieces in my house. My goal was to get this one on the wall behind me, but I forgot our picture hangers. So it's here next to me. And I think this is my second favorite one. I love this one. So this will be on the wall behind me going forward. I just didn't have any picture hangers with me, but I love this one.
Good. Congratulations on a new house, by the way.
Thank you. So you have a fun story about how you met Bray originally.
I don't know, fun. We just I did a painting of him, and then I knew somebody in WWE, and he was like, I think I put it on social or something like that, and then he texted me, says, I'm showing Bray this right now. I was like, okay, cool. And then he was like, Bray wants it. I was like, okay. I was like, it was just like it wasn't nothing good, because in between paintings, like my big paintings and stuff like that, I'll do littler paintings, like the one that you have right there. You know, I do those paintings kind of as a practice to do different things. Like that one has like the flames and the smoke is airbrushed in it, just to see how colors work together. And that's what I did with this little one of Bray. It was him when he faced the Undertaker at WrestleMania. It was, you know, he was holding the thing, the lantern walking down, but I did it all black and did the fireflies or something behind it and framed it. And so when they came to town, my buddy that I know in WWE, he was like, yeah, Bray likes the painting. I was like, well, I can bring it to him. And he's like, okay. So he got me in. Me and my wife and then my oldest son went to see the show, sat down, and they were like, all right, come with us. And we went around backstage, waited in this room. Then here comes Bray Wyatt, and he was, the nicest person ever.
Yeah.
And so I got pictures from that time we met, and it was awesome because you're talking to him, and then he's excited because it's something you did, and that's also a cool feeling. But then you also forget what this guy does and who he is, and then he starts talking. Then you're like, you kind of snap back into it, like, oh, that's Bray Wyatt, So, but oh man, I did show the picture of when we first met. I guess he'll be all right with it now, but I had him put me and Sister Abigail and take a picture of it when we first met. I fanboyed out a little bit, and he was totally cool with it. He's like, as long as it stays between us, because apparently he got in trouble before because of it. There was like a story, I forget what it was, and I don't want to put everything out there, but I was like, can you do this? He's like, for you, because it's a special time. Yeah. So I have a picture of him, have me and Abigail, which is, one of the best pictures I have. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I met him the first time, and I did have that moment like that too, like, oh crap, like he's standing right in front of me. This is really strange. And I actually forgot how to talk that particular moment. But he's very intuitive and kind of picked up on that and ended up asking me if I wanted to take a picture with him. So he's definitely a very intuitive person.
Yeah.
So how did that friendship kind of blossom after that?
So I found out that he was a Raiders fan, and I'm a Raiders fan, so they kind of grew that way. I messaged him. I was like, holy crap, you're a Raiders fan? He goes, yeah. So then we just started messaging back and forth. And I sent him some stuff that I had at the time. And we just kind of, grew, message back and forth, and just kind of kept a relationship going since then. And so we, he has one of my favorite paintings he has is the Lal Alzado painting. It was a big one. And he was hitting me. He messaged me. I was like, hey, I got to have that. I was like, all right. And so, so I sent it to him, and he's like, oh my God, this is amazing. So he sent me something back. So he sent me his ring jacket from when he faced Finn Balor at SummerSlam, which is pretty cool. So I actually have it hanging up over there. You kind of turn the thing if you guys can see it. See it back there hanging by the antlers?
Yep.
Everything's
That is
black, so
awesome.
So it's really cool. You know, one of the coolest pieces that I have because he sent it to me and it was like has the note still in there saying this is the ring jacket and all that stuff. So
That's awesome.
So it's awesome. Like that's one of the things like I would actually save if my house was burning down, you know.
Yeah, I think I'd have to put some of your art on that list too, because you just I don't know, you just kind of collect it, and it was actually one of all my artwork was like the first stuff that I moved when we got the house. It went in the first load, and I'm like, I'm taking over the art because it was a lot of money and it's my favorite stuff. So,
well, for me, it's like the Fiend picture that the one that you just showed. So I'll do paintings, and there's certain paintings where I'm like, oh, I like that, so I'll keep it for myself for a certain amount of time, and then it's kind of like I pass it on, sort of, so that way other people can enjoy it. Because for me, I'm trying to think of I don't have any of my artwork. I don't keep it. If it doesn't sell, if it's like a year and it doesn't sell, it goes in a dumpster. Like it's just how it is. So I got, you know what? That's a lie. I did one piece, and that was the recent Stone Cold piece I did. That's probably the only piece that like I have for myself, and it's hanging in my dining room. But it's just like I'd rather have people enjoy it. That's going to enjoy it. Like you wanted that painting, you love it, and that's what makes me happy, you know. So I would rather for somebody like you to have my art than it sit here and get messed up, or you know, it's like I kind of enjoyed it for the time being and moving on essentially. So, and that's kind of how I see my artwork, anyways, you know. Yeah.
So going back to do you have a favorite Bray match?
Favorite Bray match would let's see. If I had to pick one, it would probably be him winning the world title for the first time in the Elimination Chamber. Just because it was like you just finally saw all that work put in to that moment. He finally was on top after all these years. You knew what he could do. You knew everything, and it finally got there. And then to see him lose it at WrestleMania was kind of for me, it was just a bad taste, you know. They did the brand split at the time and all that crap, but to see that, especially that whole run when he was on SmackDown, he was going with Orton, like that whole run was sort of special. And then him and Randy got the tag titles. And then when they put the title on him, I think that would probably be the best moment match. You know, there's been other matches, but that's the one that kind of sticks out.
So when he kind of went off TV and then started to come back with the vignettes with the Funhouse and the Fiend, what was your kind of initial reaction to it? Like, did you know about it beforehand, or?
I knew he was leaving. So I think after SummerSlam, he was gone. And I have a buddy that's close with him too. And he texted me, said Bray's staying off of TV till Rumble. I was like, oh, damn, that's a long ass time. And because you got to figure SummerSlam, the Rumble. And he was like, Bray's, you know, doing this and doing that. And I was like, oh, that's going to be awesome. But it wasn't nothing with the Fiend. It was just more of like his look. Like he wanted to get more jacked and stuff from what what my buddy told me. So when Rumble came around and he didn't show up, I was like, oh, man, what's going on? And then the vignettes started happening. And you kind of thought I thought it was. And then when he came out as this just over the top person, I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I'm a fan of the cult leader, Bray Wyatt. Like, I love the long hair, the big beard, the distressed clothes. Like, that's kind of my favorite. So to see him change into the Yowie Wowie Funhouse Bray was kind of, you know, it was little to take in at the time. And then it kind of, you know, we know what happens now. So.
Were you you liked the direction that he went with the Fiend? What was your initial reaction when you saw the Fiend come out?
I thought it was wild. I liked it. There's just, you know, I mean, it is what it is. it was an overtop character, and it's hard to. And you saw it. It was hard to put him in matches because you didn't want to make him look beatable, but then you can't make him look too tough. And then if you do have him get beat, it's like it was just this weird. Trying to put in the words. It was just this weird
dynamic
placement. Yeah, it was just like a weird placement to where, to me, WWE has like a hierarchy of people, and when he beat Rollins, he was up here, but he wasn't up with Roman and Brock and Goldberg. And then when he lost, it was like he kind of fell back down to that tier after he lost. You know, so that's the only thing I don't like. But I mean, it was just cool to see the different stuff and what he was able to do, and you know, and him winning the Universal title at Crown Jewel on Halloween, that just puts it over the top.
Yeah,
you know. And I think the run as the Fiend as champion was pretty awesome. Him with Daniel Bryan, the matches, those matches were awesome. I mean,
yeah,
take the title off of him, put it on Goldberg.
Sore moment for any Bray Wyatt fan.
Now this is where if I had my soundboard, I'd play the sad trombones or the clown sound or something like that, because that was a load of crap. But go ahead, I'll shut up.
Yeah, I don't think any fan really knew how to react to that. I think I don't know. And for me as a fan too, I feel like that's when I feel like things kind of shifted. And I feel like you could kind of start to tell that, from my perspective anyway, that WWE was taking over more control of the character than he was. And that was kind of when that started for me.
Well, what was shocking was when they had the Braun take the title off of Goldberg at Mania. Like, I never thought that was going to happen. Then they did it. Then he battled the Fiend, which is a great storyline between the both of them, Braun and Bray. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I mean, that was like one of the only entertaining things they were able to do outside of the whole pandemic and performance center parts, you know, so that kind of kept people engaged. And then that's why it's not Bray's fault. It's more WWE's fault to kind of, when Roman just comes back and takes the title off of him after these guys worked this whole time while Roman's gone. It just, just puts a sour taste in your mouth with the product overall. Yeah,
it does. I definitely think, though, one of my favorite matches, like during the pandemic time, was that WrestleMania Funhouse match that he had with Cena. It
was just so crazy, and the different things you saw in that match too.
I'm surprised they could put Cena back in those shorts. That was a crazy match, and I feel like it just broke a mold. You know what I mean? Like there'll never be another match like that.
No, well, I mean, for both those type of characters, when you put John Cena in there, but who knows what he's going to do now, which is, I'm shocked there hasn't been a video out yet teasing something, that I'm actually shocked at that.
Well, if you believe the rumors, he's still in his 90 days and probably can't really do a whole lot, but
yeah, but if you look, Buddy Murphy, now Buddy Matthews, put out a video. Malachi put out a video. Ruby Soho did videos and all this teaser stuff. So I'm surprised. Like, that's why when he was released, I was bummed. But now we'll really be able to see the direction and the creative process that he will be able to do. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll have the restraints of WWE.
Have you been watching the Free the Narrative EC3 that EC3's been doing?
No, I wanted to catch the one with Braun, but I have not. I've seen clips of it. I try to stick. Even when before AEW, I just watched WWE because you just get too inundated with so much wrestling. It gets overwhelming. Yeah. So like the New Japan and all that stuff, I just watched WWE. Like right now, I just watched AEW. I watch clips on social media, different things, and then I'll watch WWE for like the pay-per-views and stuff like that, but that's about it. I try to stay surprised, so to say. You know what I mean? I still try to get that fan I stay off the message boards and try to stay away from certain. I even do that with football. Like I don't listen to the commentators and stuff like that either for football. It's like, just let me watch it, enjoy it.
Right. So if you, with the free the narrative thing, they did an interview with Braun afterwards, and I don't know if you heard about it, but he pretty much called him out and said, I want to see Windham on it next. So I don't know, Bray, he seems like the kind of person to me that's, he is being very particular about how he wants to break his silence, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, he's always kept things close.
Mm-hmm.
He's always kept kayfabe, as they would say. So for him not to tweet and do things now is, it's what he does, so it's going to be a surprise, whatever he does. That's why I'm wondering, like with Braun or Adam, I don't know, whatever you want to call him. I call him Braun still. He has, both of them are very good friends. So could Braun be waiting for his 90 days? Could something be going on? Like it's all up in the air. So those 90 days are done with Bray. So
I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
Yes. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling he might do something on Halloween.
That's what I think too. But when you look at the dates of stuff, like with AEW, when people say he's going to AEW or here or there, it's like when the dates line up, it's like their pay-per-view is after Halloween. So, I mean, could he drop a video on Halloween? Some kind of cryptic, crazy video? It's like, I mean, who knows? That's what's exciting about it, It's like there's still that mystery of everything.
So what do you expect from him? Where would you like to see him go?
Come on now, you know where I want him to go. And it's selfish reasons. I'm not going to lie. It's selfish reasons. I'd love to see him in AEW so I could do paintings of him and stuff like that. Come on now. But I
think
where do
you expect him to go?
I don't know, honestly, because it's been such a mystery. It's been so cryptic. His tweets out haven't been anything, anything kind of leaning one way or another. I think if you go to AEW doesn't have those over the top characters. They're on the wrestling part of it, which is that's what actually made me like AEW more, is because it's for, to me, I think it's more for wrestling fans. And WWE has, like, I think Roman just said it, WWE has everything for everybody, which is fine, but for me, I like the wrestling stuff. So when you look at that aspect, is the Fiend gimmick going to work in AEW, or a gimmick like that? Because they have a band in there now, which is sort of demonic. So I don't know. It's all questions still.
I don't know either. Obviously for our channel, for selfish reasons, we'd like to see him go to Impact, but
yes, I would love to see him go to Impact. And even I say it like this, because I know a lot of people, and I'm not going to say it's not fairly earned, but if you look at the previous regimes of Impact Wrestling, they weren't very successful with managing the company, and it burned a lot of bridges. And now I think a lot of what Impact is going through is a result of some of the previous management woes. But I do think on a week-to-week basis, looking at their show, even though they don't get nearly the fans or are on network television per se with a huge deal, I do think that they have a good spot for him to land. Plus, I think he could also, if he went there, work with several other promotions at the same time, which may be beneficial to him. Now, I will say him and AEW would be cool, Selfishly, we all have the places where we want them to go, whether it's AEW, whether it's Impact. But I guess my question, Scott, is this: when he comes back, no matter where he goes, what type of gimmick would you like to see him in? I heard you say earlier you really dug the cult leader. So what type of gimmick would you like to see him have?
I would like to see him, Rowan, and Braun join together and just take over the Indies, take over all the titles, just like what Kenny Omega just did with the titles. Penta and Ray just had the AAA tag team titles and the AEW tag team titles. The possibilities are endless. Like if those three got together, they could go to Impact, they could go to AEW, they could go anywhere they wanted to and just take over. And sort of like what the Hardys did back in the day when they went for their championship of gold. It's the same concept, but you're doing it with these three big over the top characters, and leading it would be Bray. And then you have Braun, who both of them are world champions in WWE. So it's just possible. It's just endless possibilities. But with the Impact stuff, I never I think the talent pool would run out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And not only my other issue with Impact is I want to see him live in front of a crowd. I want to see him in arenas. They do a lot in the studio, which is we would have Performance Center Fiend type deal if he went to Impact, in my opinion. I want to see him in the crowd. I want to see him traveling. You know what I mean? Like that's where the comparisons I see, but his character could work better in Impact. But
yeah, and I'm sure he really misses being around the fans too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just think that character being in front of that live arena again, because he was in the Thunderdome. They weren't traveling when he was released, were they?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so it's been over a year at least for being in
Well, they had crowds at WrestleMania, but that was it.
Oh yeah, where he lost again.
Yeah. Oh.
To Randy Orton.
Thanks to Alexa Bliss.
And where's she at now?
And again, this is where if I had my soundboard at work.
No, I just think it's just going to be interesting, It's just wait and see what happens, and it's fun, It's like with AEW and WWE and Impact or whatever, New Japan and all that stuff. It's like it could be anything, and you have to watch all of it, or stay on social and kind of see all the stuff that's happening too,
Yeah. I still have a feeling we're gonna hear something on Halloween because it would be incredibly poetic.
He could just, tweet the universal title.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, would you like to see him do something outside of wrestling?
In movies and stuff like that? I mean, that's the thing. Like now he's released, it's endless stuff. Like he could do the horror movies or do whatever. Mm-hmm. When you could take a character like what he did with the Fiend and come out with this over the top, kid friendly guy, and then he's this demonic, Fiend character. Like your creativity is endless, and we've seen it time and time again. And what drew me in with Bray from the very beginning was the way he talked. That cult leader Bray, he was like a preacher up there. I was like, I could listen to him all day long,
Yeah.
I was like, don't stop. Like, this is awesome. So he could do anything that he wanted. And I think that's the exciting part, of him being released. I mean, it sucked, but somebody like Bray will be fine,
Yeah. The cult leader Bray character was what drew me into. I was exactly the same way. Like, don't stop talking. Just keep going.
Yeah.
it was just so captivating. And then that last Funhouse episode that we saw, he kind of went into that preacher mode too. And you're like, I want another one. Keep going. Just have 3 hours of Bray Wyatt and I'll be totally fine.
Yeah, and then that was like the cryptic thing too, because that was the last time we seen him, and it was what was it? He said,
A brand new me.
we're gonna forget all about that, and it's just like everything he does has meaning somewhere else. It's
Everything.
like it's just a captivating character overall.
Yeah. Everything he says is captivating. And it's so easy to speculate and dig into every little thing he says. I mean, I sent him a DM like a week ago and said, every time you say anything on Twitter, it creates more frenzy than a bucket of blood in a Shark Tank.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you just said
and
how
you can
much.
attest to that too when he responded to your tweet, and well, he does frequently for you, but and your whole Twitter goes crazy, and you're like, what happened?
I think I talked to him first the Raiders' first game that Monday night. We were going back and forth because it was a nuts crazy game, but he'll respond when he responds. It's not like it's an everyday thing or every week thing. It goes months or whatever. So it's not like there all the time. But he's just awesome. Just one of the nicest guys ever. And he remembers his fans, which is amazing. Which is what I was like. So I met him a couple times, and the second time I met him, he was in the car with what's her name? Josie, right? Josie, his wife.
Jojo.
So, and he was pointed at the outside. He pointed inside the car to me because we were outside. He's like, "Hey, there's," and then he was trying to get her to stop. And then we met him in the back. But it's like he remembers, everybody. It's nuts.
Yeah. I first met him like back in January before COVID happened. And then I maybe only talked to him for about 5 minutes. I had written him a letter that I gave to him and, took a picture with him and really didn't think anything of it. And then they did like a video meet and greet literally in September, 9 months later. And he knew exactly who I was. And I was like, what? Yeah. Like, I met you 9 months ago. How the heck do you remember who I was? And it was just by my name. He said, I know that name. And I was like, what? And I think I was stunned for the first 15 seconds. I was like, wait, what? And yeah. And then the day he followed me on Twitter, I almost drove my car off the road.
And it's funny, but not funny at the same
time. That's a true story, because she sent me a text and she's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," and that's like basically all she said. And she sent me the screenshot. And the first thing I thought, I was happy for her, and then the next thing I had to ask her was, "Are you breathing? Like, are you okay?" Because I know what that meant to her, and just knowing that he appreciates the people who appreciate him, and he takes the time to really remember those people and he cares. Like, you can tell that he genuinely cares. Mm-hmm. That's something that's really special about this guy.
Yeah.
And I still haven't quite figured out why he did it, but I'm not complaining. Jeff, I think it's time for our giveaway prize.
I think so. Like, I think it's time for that. I do want to ask this. Do you think maybe we can take a couple questions for Scott after we do the giveaway to close out the episode? So Jodie, go ahead and ask your trivia question. And here's the thing, the first, not the second, but the first person that I see to get this in the chat, I'm going to pin your comment and you're going to be the winner. So go ahead, Jodie.
Oh crap! I don't remember the question. Oh, I had to pull up your text message. I'm like, I don't remember the question. So our trivia question is this.
Wait. You got to tell them what they win.
Oh. Okay. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this would cost a lot of money to ship to international people. So if we could keep it in the US, that would be awesome. If not, we'll try to work something out. But outside of the frame, this is the prize. Obviously, a piece from Scott here. It won't be in the frame, but it is this piece of artwork.
That's from Bray's collection too. He has that painting.
I saw he posted a picture of Nash sitting in front of it. I'm assuming his is a lot bigger.
Yes.
So you get to own a piece that Bray has in his house, which is pretty awesome. So that's the prize. The question. Where did the question go? So other than the Fiend or Bray Wyatt, give me 3 other ring names that he has used in his career.
All right, chat. I want to see. I'm pretty sure people are consulting Mr. Google at the moment. But let's see what we get here. I feel like we need some Jeopardy music, but I don't have.
I got 2. I don't know the third one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
I'll have to admit, one of them I completely forgot about, and it might be the one that. Oh, 7 Fiend.
Oh, there it is.
All right, now here's the deal. 7 Fiend, where are you located? So Jody, his ring names, I'll read you all of them. Obviously, we know the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and the Fiend. So we've got Husky Harris, we've got Duke Rotundo, Axel Mulligan, and Alex Rotunda. Italy, of course you're in Italy, 7 Fiend. Of course you are. I'll have to we'll have to figure out something. I don't know how much that'll be internationally, but we'll.
It's paper, so it shouldn't be too bad.
You would think. Then you got to deal with customs and everything.
Yeah, that's true. We'll figure something out.
And I gotta say, Erase Your Mind got the full names, which that's a good.
Where is he from? Erase Your Mind.
Where are you from? That's formerly known as Butter Spark.
Okay. I don't know where.
I don't know either. Because we might have to.
Maybe we'll just do 2.
Yeah, we might just have to do 2 because you guys were
on it,
and while other people had the names.
Pennsylvania, perfect.
You know what, Butters or Erase Your Mind? I could. Deanna got full names.
Who got it second?
You know what, Scott? I'm gonna buy a third one from you. Whatever. I don't care. So here's what we're gonna do. I think Deanna is in Ohio. Okay. So it's all good. We don't take off for spelling. So here's the thing. Okay, well, yeah, you can see you later. Jackass. Anyway, see, Scott, when you asked if we curse, I try not to. I try not to, but only like when jackasses come on and join something. Oh, thank you for the view, by the way, too. Even though you criticize, but anyway, so yeah, we'll get information. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit Jodie up on Twitter. Send her a DM and let her know your mailing address and all that good stuff. And Big Dan saying, why not have a Bray off between the three winners?
A what?
A Bray off.
Okay.
All right, so a Bray off between Seven Fiend. I mean, I'm still gonna buy a piece of art, Scott. So I mean, even if it comes to my house, I'm still buying. So I'm trying to think on the fly here.
I have a question.
Okay, there you go. All right, so Seven Fiend, Deanna, and Erase Your Mind.
Hold on, I gotta pull up it's an exact one. I'm finding it. Talk amongst yourselves.
So, Scott, what I want to do while Jodie's finding that, folks, I'm going to take the first 3 questions for Scott, and please don't make it. Have you had any secret conversations with Windham, and do you know where he's going? Because he can't answer that. Even if he knew it, he still couldn't answer it. So let's not go there. But 3 questions for Scott. And Jodie, we can get a question at the end here. Alicia P is saying, do a true or false question.
That's too easy.
That's too easy. So just while we're waiting for questions here, if you are new to our channel, first off, thank you for joining us. Unless you say something stupid like somebody else did. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate all of your support. We greatly appreciate it. Throw a like on this video, and yeah, thank you all. So here's a question. Callan Corner, Jesse Callan. Would Mr. Dorsey be at all willing to follow me on Twitter?
He doesn't even follow me on Twitter.
I don't.
And he doesn't follow me on Twitter.
No.
I thought I followed Jesse the other day when we were arguing about it. But yes, I can.
There you go. Deanna asks, are you doing more artwork for Malachi's t-shirt company?
No, I don't do any of that stuff. T-shirts are not my thing. I do stuff on canvas and stuff like that. If AEW wants to turn stuff into T-shirts, then they can. But that's not my special. I don't do T-shirts or nothing like that. They that's all pro wrestling tees, AEW shop, and the wrestler themselves. Malachi would figure out, what he would want and all that stuff. But yeah, that's not me. It'd be the artwork that's coming out soon from Malachi for the prints like this would be coming out.
Gotcha. Jesse would also like to know, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
I ain't had one in a while. So I don't know.
Oh boy.
Okay,
All right. So Jodie, you got your question, I guess. So
I do. So the three people, I forgot who they are. See, this is what happens when you don't have enough sleep.
Seven Fiend, Deanna, and Erase Your Mind. So the three of you, listen up.
Okay, give me the date of Bray Wyatt's debut match on NXT.
Oh,
While you're answering, Scott, Joey's Adventures wants to know, what feud would you like to see Bray have first if he goes to AEW?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Damn, that's a good one. There's so
really
much there. Oh man, that's oh man, that's a real good one. I'm thinking like Marrow because he's bigger, but I mean Darby sort of little. He could do a lot with Darby. Shit, him and MJF going back and forth would be awesome, just on the mic alone. Man, that's a. I would like to
Erase
see.
your mind.
Brian
I need the
too.
specific date. Keep going, Scott. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just trying to think of the people.
I would really like to see him get in a feud with CM Punk. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, he was part of Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
They could build off of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be wild. Yeah, there's so many possibilities where it's crazy. Because thinking about it, it's like, what do you want to see the wrestling part, or you want to see the story of the feud? You know what I mean?
Both.
So for me, him battling back and forth with MJF would be awesome. But like when Buddy Murphy was released, there's so many talent I would like to see him wrestle in AEW. You know, it's like, so to figure out like with Bray, it'd be, man, the first one. I don't know. That's a good one. Who would you guys like to see?
I'm gonna stick with CM Punk. I think that would be awesome.
Pump to the ring, lights go out type of deal. That would be wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me,
Sting. Yes, that'd be another good one.
That Sting is a good one, but for me, I think I would really, really, really like to see him, and I'm stalling a little bit because that's a good question.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I really want to see him and someone. This is out of left field, but I'd like to see him and someone like Hobbs, Willie Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking with like Marrow, somebody big.
Somebody big, yeah.
And what AEW is doing as well is they're pulling out like their younger guys, and they're making it with their and they're feuding with the talent from WWE. Like they're kind of building that, and they're learning, getting their face on with these known guys. So somebody like Hobbs, who just went with Punk, who wrestled Punk, you know, he would go against Bray, and that would pump Hobbs up as well. You know, put him on the map a little bit. Yeah, that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Erase Your Mind saying June 8th, 2010.
Before that, he said July 11th, 2012, which is the correct answer.
Okay. So there you go. So he was first.
He was.
So there you go. There you go. So this was a lot of fun. We must do this again sometime. Joe, do you have anything else? Any other questions you want to ask Scott before we go? Or
1,000, but we're out of time. So
so thank you so much, Scott, for joining us tonight. This was awesome. I'm sorry that I wasn't at home to be on camera or to have my soundboard because there were a couple of things I wish I had it for tonight. But this was fun. People are still throwing out some different matches. Wardlow would be a good one.
Yes, I love Warlow.
Yeah, I think Wardlow would be cool.
Then you get the mic of MJF.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I like that. You go up against Wardlow first, and then after you get through that, then you get MJF, which makes a lot of sense.
Then you bring both those guys up because they're going against Bray.
Exactly.
Who's already a known champion, name, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
So,
everybody would like to see him up against Matt Hardy too, because they have such good chemistry.
Yeah, and Scott. Yeah, I know. Scott, tell people where they can find your artwork or how they can follow you on the socials.
Dorsey Art on everything. Website, dorseyart.com, and then all social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is all Dorsey Art.
Okay.
Try to keep it simple.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Jody, you got anything before we head out?
No. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. It was fun. Thank you guys.
You are welcome anytime.
I hope I lived up to your hype of the guest. So
You did for me, for sure.
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Again, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Drop us a like on this video and leave us some comments and make them nice, for God's sakes, please. That's all we ask. Just be decent humans. So, with that being said,
Don't try to come crash because somebody else told you to.
yeah.
Have a brain. Don't be a sheep.
Yeah. Or don't be an asshole. And I'll let that breathe for a minute. Don't be an asshole. There's enough of them in the world. You just blend in with the other ones when you become one. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Stay safe out there. We'll be back Thursday night for Impact, our watch along. Come join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if Joe will be back, but maybe he will be. Maybe he'll be back. And I know I spoke to him a little bit earlier. He's feeling a little bit better. So
Good.
continue your thoughts and prayers for Joe. But yeah, stay safe, and we will see you on Thursday night for Impact Wrestling. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.